Hello. It's been quite a long time since I've been here, and I want to start off the video by saying I have a chipped tooth and I'm self-conscious about it. It's been a while now, so I kind of forget that I do have a chipped tooth, but when I smile, it's subliminally there, which brings me to my video. This video is going to be about subliminal messages, how we wander off in the world and make choices, not even knowing that we're making choices based on things that we are unaware of, like weather, mood, people, energy, ancestral beliefs, all that good stuff. I just want to tell you to go ahead and like this video, click and subscribe, and I really hope that you enjoy this format that I'm going to do. I read books on this, and I wanted to not only give you my opinion on the subject, I wanted to give you information that I think that will be useful for you, because I think that what I'm going to talk about is very important, and I think that I can help a lot of people by making this aware, because honestly, this is something that should be common knowledge to most people, and it's not, because this is the way that unfortunately we are controlled. And in that sense, I very much believe that the advertising and the way the world works, including the government, and this is how they make us sheeps, because I believe that they know how our brain functions and how important what we constantly listen to, what our music is, what we constantly do affects our everyday life and affects our choices daily, affects what we eat, affects what we think, affects how we communicate with each other, all that good stuff. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and start. In my past videos, I've mentioned that I want to live in the present and enjoy the journey, enjoy every moment. Living in the present is said to be the happiest way to live. Being more present in my daily life and being more aware of my surroundings, being more conscious of my emotions, being more aware of myself, and being in the present moment has helped me immensely live and feel happier every moment as the seconds go by. What I mean by being in the present is simply being able to be quiet enough and aware enough to hear the nice little bird chirping in the morning, or the way the sun leaks in the morning through your window, or just appreciating, the little small things, and without being overwhelmed in your head by bombarding thoughts, by TikTok, subliminal songs, by our problems, by our boyfriend, by work, by what she said yesterday. And this all boils down to our subconscious and how we run on habits, and this directly correlates to that. I want to mention that in this video because I truly believe that if we were more aware and mindful about ourselves, we would then reflect that mindfulness towards each other. We would act more as a community, and I don't think that we would be living in the world that we've created today. In this video, I talk a lot about mindfulness, and I relate it a lot to self-awareness, and I just want to mention that. By self-awareness, I mean knowing how the brain functions and awareness of actions that we make in our daily lives. Peeling the layers of ourselves will lead to peace, like an onion. I can only show you and teach you the things that I know. However, you have to put in the work yourself. Nobody can do it for you. There is no magic pill to stop overthinking. There is no quick fix for feeling angry often. There is no quick fix to make the world stop making you mad. Instead of pointing fingers at someone, ask yourself, what can I do better next time? What did I contribute to the problem? Yes, this person did an action, but what led there? What did I contribute? What did I do? What choices led me there? Why did I allow this person to hurt me this way? Why didn't I put up my boundaries? If we do not take responsibilities for our thoughts and actions, then we are always going to be running away from ourselves. My objective with this video is to educate you about your subconscious mind. Shedding light on the way our brains function will help you understand how impressionable your surroundings are to our brains. Our brains receive information constantly that you are not aware of. We make decisions on observations that we have. We make decisions on first impressions. We make decisions on whether we like the color of the shit that the person that we're talking to is wearing. We make decisions on subliminal faces, on energy. We make decisions on really silly things that you wouldn't think would even matter. One of the reasons that yoga and meditation were created is to observe how you are thinking and acting. Eventually, with enough practice, what I've learned is that you will be watching your emotions go through you. You will be the observer. You can make long-lasting decisions for yourself that will make you happier in a long run, and not impulsive decisions that you will look back at later and be like, damn, I was really mad. I wasn't seeing the truth. I wasn't seeing the bigger picture. I was too involved in my emotions. I was too sad. So with yoga, I've learned to and observe why I make decisions and question why I did certain things. You won't get swept up by the anger and carry that for a couple hours. Instead, practicing accepting that you are uncomfortable and accepting that you're going to be uncomfortable sometimes, and that will eventually be okay. Accepting that you are not okay, and not accepting that you're not okay, just accepting responsibility for the truth, the unchangeable things you cannot change. I mentioned yoga because I think it's a big catalyst in going into self-awareness mode and really realizing why you do the things that you do. I think that is important. Being aware of the way that we go on autopilot mode gives us an advantage to making more conscious decisions. Most of our day, we make 95% of our decisions unconsciously. 95% of your freaking day. Scientifically proven. All of my links are going to be down below on the books that I read, on everything, the research that I did. 95%, guys, is how long we go on autopilot mode of decisions that we are making daily, unconsciously, from habits, from smells influencing us. Smells actually influence how we choose mates, to the weather influencing our mood. When we evaluate the information worldwide, we cannot ignore how much of an influence the outside has on us, a product of our environment. Our senses are a way that we take in a lot of information. Our environment communicates with us whether we want it to or not. It communicates to us through our touch, through our smell, through our hearing, through our sight, through our 5 senses. I don't know if I'm missing one right now. I think I mentioned all of them. We eventually start to memorize what things feel like. Our senses start to smell and realize what certain things are, and eventually we get so good we don't even know that we're that good. If you're pouring a glass of water into a cup, even though you're not realizing it, you can hear the echo of how full that cup is, and you kind of know more or less where to stop pouring. You don't know this, but studies show that if you give enough practice to it, you can do it. We also echolocate, which means that right now in a room I have an echo, so I kind of know how far walls are. If I practice enough and I can close my eyes and hear the reverb of the room, I can know how far I am from a wall. So if you stand really far from a wall and you start going closer to it, so this is the way in which we travel, and our subconscious just takes that in, and it helps us. It helps us communicate, it helps us live, it helps us travel. Even though we don't always doing these things, we rely on our major source, like our eyesight, to see, but we can definitely not rely. Like when people go blind, they are said to have a sense of power. Their other senses get stronger, but it's not that my senses aren't as strong as a blind person's senses of hearing. It's just that they work at it and they listen to intricate noises and they pay attention. It's no longer subconscious. It's now consciously being practiced, and eventually we're so good that we adapt to it. For example, I know what a water bottle feels like when it's empty, and I know what it feels like when it's full. I can pick up a water bottle and know more or less how much water is in it without looking at it. That is a way our senses communicate with us. When you're talking to somebody in a loud room, in a restaurant, at brunch, you sometimes miss words, but by looking at their mouths, you can properly hear them. So it is a lot harder to hear me and try to put what I'm saying into words if my audio is really low and you can barely hear me. And now you can probably hear me, right? Because my mouth is moving. Even though the audio got really low, my mouth is moving and you could kind of make out what I'm saying. And also that happens to me when I'm watching TV and stuff. I can't properly hear sometimes, so I'll put the subtitles on the bottom. I can hear the subtitles. Without those subtitles, I don't know what they just said. My brain, I don't know what happens. They turn off and it's just like babble, 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 babble. And when they turn on, it's comprehensive and it's English again. And it's not that I'm concentrating completely on the subtitles. I can be looking at the scene and just by my peripheral vision kind of seeing and like glancing down every once in a while when I'm missing something, automatically pick up on it. Even if I didn't read the word, just seeing the word physically and hearing it and connecting it, it just works. So that's how much power our subconscious has. It's really interesting if you think about it. If you really put thought into it, it's honestly really crazy how our brains work. The same goes for our sense of smell, including animals, including humans, because we are animals, pick their mates by smelling. If you didn't know that, we smell their DNA and we can smell hormone cycles. For example, studies show that female strippers make more money right before they go into their ovulation cycle. Why? Because science is very crazy and evolution has been very smart. Evolution has been crazy. It is more likely for a man to stick around if they've known the woman for a while. So if I go into, I can only get pregnant if I'm ovulating. So if I'm going before my ovulation, men have intercourse with me and smell me who are more likely to stick around because of my hormones telling them, hey, I'm the bee for you. You know, come get this cookie, like, you love me, I'm gonna tie you down. And then when I'm ovulating, you're more likely to be attached to me because of the way that I smelled. Had you met me another time, you might have not been as attracted to me. I might have not been as funny. I hope it smell me through this video, like it. But women are known to attract males by pheromones. So this just tells you that when you think you're attracted to someone, you might wanna wait it out and, you know, get to know that person. You know, don't like go on and move in like a month, guys. Relax, take it back, take a chill pill, take it slow. Don't have that baby just yet. Wear a condom because them pheromones might change. Just saying. I'm just giving y'all, like, you know, some knowledge in here. We might be thinking that we're making an incredible choice, that this is all my idea, nothing influenced me, I know it all. When baby girl, it was just the hormones talking, it was just the pheromones in the air. I don't know what he was releasing, but you liked whatever he was dishing. And unconsciously, they picked you, and unconsciously, you picked them. But you thought it was all your choice, when in fact, 95% of your damn voices are unconscious. Scientifically, mother effing proved that this is true. And I'm sorry to shatter your world and shatter everything that you thought was true, and to tell you this piece of information that, like, yo, we are a little dumb. We're a little dumb. We're smart, but we're dumb. If we really do the research, like, it's kind of scary. It's a little scary how dumb we are. So yeah, female lambs are actually known to, by scientific research, female lambs are known to release oxytocin in the brain when they give birth to bond with their baby. If they were to say, like, for example, they did a study that they injected some lambs that weren't pregnant with oxytocin, and then they put a little baby lamb to this woman lamb, and she bonded with that lamb like if it was her own. She then continued to take care of that lamb like if it was her own. But there was a difference between lambs that didn't have this oxytocin. The other one with no oxytocin, her brain was just like, nah, this baby ain't mine. Like, I didn't birth it. Like, I don't know. I'll get your child. Like, it's not mine. It's not mine. That's my titty. You ain't sucking on it. That also happens to us. When we have sex, we release oxytocin, and that creates the intimacy that we feel after having sex. Unless it was really bad and their pheromones are all off, then you weren't interested, and it was a terrible, terrible night. I'm sorry if you've experienced that. But maybe you should stop listening to your unconscious decisions, because conscious you might have not picked that partner. I say all this to say because we should be able to evaluate these things before we are doomed to repeat actions that are harmful to our state in the present. Our habits form our daily life. Those 95% of unconscious decisions will accumulate into what is called your daily life. The way we live will shape the years that will pass. The years passing will turn from being future to the present moment. Don't you think we should be more mindful about the decisions you make? Imagine wearing your friend's bad mood, or being in a fight with a person in your life and being upset over it and not knowing that you're upset. So upset that you spend the entire day being cranky about it. This affects the way you process information completely. The way we speak to people will be different just because I had a fight with so and so. The way I treat my customers will then be a complete reflection on my income, my rent, whether I can buy that Starbucks that day, even though I shouldn't be eating processed things. But sometimes you need a little energy, sometimes you need a little crack. So in this way, we have to be aware of how we speak to people, because the way we speak to people is important, is very important. The way we speak to people is the way we speak to ourselves, the way we travel and maneuver in our daily lives. Unless you work a remote job and you sit at home and you meditate all the time, and that just sounds like a dream, never talking to anybody ever again, never waiting for somebody to walk faster in front of you. Things that I'm worried about. We need to talk about the people that we spend time with. Yes, I'm talking to you, that person you're not cutting off, that toxic relationship that you just can't seem to get away from. There's a reason that we become the people we spend time with, to communicate with people. We mimic them to be able to let them know that they are understood. This is like real. This is legit real. We literally mimic each other to be able to understand each other. That's just how evolution works. We do this to be a part of a community. We notice subtle gestures. We mirror postures. We also mimic mood and tone of voice. We copy phrases from them. We eventually grow to resemble each other. That is why couples begin to like the same things and they begin to act the same way while they're with each other. I had a best friend in middle school. Shout out if you're watching this video. I'm not gonna say her name because yeah. And we had this thing where we were toxic. I'm sorry. We were toxic. We would do this thing where we're like, this was already towards senior year. We could go without like speaking to each other. She told me Paxton. She's like, Paxton makes your booty look good. And I was like, what? I'm trying to make my booty look good. So we both like Paxton. I already made an unconscious decision because my friend recommended Paxton. My friend recommended this store to me, and I was like, damn, you right. And I tried it on and I was like, damn, but did my booty really look better in that? Or is it just because my friend told me that they did? I went in there thinking that they would, and I looked in the mirror and I was like, you do. And we had the same exact pair of jeans, but we didn't go buy them together. We just chose that color. We like the same color scheme. I still like the same color scheme. I still like this grungy, dark burgundy, dark forest green, I'm earthy. I don't like any of that bright. Well, my hair is a little bright right now. So we went to school and we would be literally wearing the same jeans and the same shirt. Not I will never forget a long sleeve white shirt with the same tan jeans. And people would be like, oh my God, look, they're best friends. They're twinning. And we'd be like, no, we're not twinning. We're just being ourselves. So it got so much to the point that we were wearing the same thing because we were best friends and we hung out with each other. And unconsciously, I made decisions that were similar to her taste. And we spoke in the same rhythm. We said the same slang words. We said G shit a lot. I don't know who we thought we are. And that just goes to show how many choices we make. And you can't tell me that science is wrong because it's not, and how much we mimic each other. So what does that tell you about the person that you hang out with? Who's your best friend? What does their life look like? It probably resembles a lot of what yours looks like. Their taste in clothes, their taste in music probably resembles the same thing. We all choose a community that's very much alike us because we're more powerful in numbers. And this is why back in the day we used to have to protect each other from outsiders, whether we're animals, whether it was other people trying to steal our food, whatever the case may be. We're more powerful in numbers. So in evolution, this is why we do this, and this is why we try to be like each other and try to mimic each other to create the sense of community that we need in order to live our lives and protect each other. So now this is kind of evolutionized to like sorority girls or like dance teams. You got each other's back. Or if I'm at work, there's like little cliques and we kind of protect each other. So I've been very well aware of what is going on within myself to be conscious enough to know when I am favoring a person due to their similarities to me, their similarities to my likes, I think that is so barbaric to be mean to each other because you don't like the same colors I do. That's just ridiculous, or that just boils down to not having the same views, not having the same growing up, the way we live. These are the choices that we're making. This is why we don't like each other, or because we don't understand each other. But why? Because we're making choices unconsciously because this person isn't like you. It's no sense. It makes... It drives me crazy. I've learned that being more aware of the issue helps us see it when it's happening in front of our eyes. You know, you may not catch it the first 100 times. Maybe the 101st time you caught it. Congratulations. Negative outcomes happen because we are in this little delusion of ours that we're constantly in control and we made the decisions based on something valid, when realistically 95% of your decisions are unconscious. You didn't make it consciously. My coworker, I will say, said that chongas, if you don't know what chongas are, please do yourself a favor and go research the chonga Fergalicious song, and you're welcome. So that's what a chonga is. Anyways, he was saying how chongas are problematic, and it's not that chongas are problematic. You can't say a chonga is problematic and not say another human being isn't problematic. Like, we're all problematic. We all have problematic issues, you know, just in a different light. We like to assert ourselves in a different way. And once we view things and we see that, we see you by what you're wearing, you constantly assume that this person belongs to this category. Therefore, this person has these types of stereotypes. And that is just the truth. That I looked at you and that's what I assumed, and it's true. So my coworker was like, oh yeah, chongas tend to be problematic. And I was like, I was a huge chonga in 6th grade. I was raised by chongas. My mom is a major chonga. You know, like I'm Hispanic as hell. The only reason I don't speak that much Spanish and I'm not like bleh, is because I was a first generation American. But I am Hispanic as hell. Like, girl, my daddy came on a boat. Like, that man came on a boat, not on a boat, I'm sorry, on a raft. Get it right. So that's all I grew up wearing. That's all I grew up learning. 6th grade, damn, I'm just getting started. I don't know what the freak I like. And so I would be a chonga and I would wear my bebe shirt and my freaking hoop earrings, and like totally, like, I would do one of these and I would like stick it together and I would tie it in the back. You know, one of those, and you tie it in the back and then you like comb your hair over and it's like glued and then like super crunchy. Yeah, I did that. That was one of my things. I am problematic, but not in the way that you would think like a chonga is. You hear chonga and problematic in the same sentence, you automatically think this girl screaming at you, like trying to throw hands, or like, you know, being loud and obnoxious, which is by far so far from what I was or what I still am, you know. And he looked at me and he was like, you were a chonga? And I was like, yeah. He was like, no, you weren't. There's no way you were a chonga. And I'm like, baby, I was a chonga. And he's like, did you wear bebe shirts? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I had a set. It was plaid, and that was my favorite outfit to wear to school. Like, that was my baby, okay? I was like, even though I felt embarrassed of it because like I didn't match with everybody else, and this is where like groups go and whatever, but yeah, people knew I was a chonga. I was a walking, talking chonga. And his perception of people, of chongas, is that they're problematic, and I didn't think I was problematic at all. But see, had I been a chonga, would he even be my friend? Would he even like me genuinely as a person? Or would he unconsciously make a choice, oh, she's problematic, I'm gonna treat her differently? And he might not even be aware that he's making this choice, but he totally is, based on solely an assumption. Like, you don't really know me, you just saw what you saw and you categorized it, and that's it. That's literally as good as it got. That's as far as you went. You didn't have any more brain power to get to know me. You didn't have any more brain power to do anything because I'm a chonga and I'm problematic. And meanwhile, I'm over here and he's giving me a look and I'm like, well, that guy's an asshole. And now we're both acting unconsciously, like off of like, oh, he gave me a look and I assumed it was right. That's my little example on why you shouldn't assume people on who they are. First impressions are important. First impressions can save you from a dangerous situation, but you shouldn't live your life on an impression. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for the world. Get to know this chonga. I promise you, I'm nice. Everybody who really knows me is laughing. I'm nice. I'm just a little crazy. It's fine. So, how many situations are you letting stereotypes from letting you see? How many situations are you letting stereotype from letting you see the reality of a certain situation? The truth, not your perspective, the fact, not your assumptions, the fact. Are you viewing these things as they are, or are you letting your subconscious treat a person a certain way with no regard to their feelings? Or the opposite, are you favoring someone and allowing them to get away with overstepping your boundaries just because they mimic you well? Are you allowing yourself to be present now to create moments and make decisions that will fulfill you? In that same breath, I want to connect the way that media affects us and commercials affects us, and the big platform out there with a TIK and the UCK and the, it's important. It's important to know how much of the world affects us. The music we listen to can heavily influence you by the lyrics. Suddenly an artist's belief can become yours too. An artist's suicidal thoughts now be yours. An artist's heartbreak can now be yours. An artist's bigotry can now be yours. An artist's garbage or back up on my BS and the, it's important. It's important to know how much of the world affects us. The music we listen to can heavily influence you by the lyrics. Will you realize that you ate McDonald's breakfast because you heard the commercial over 20 times? And then you woke up that morning and suddenly you're craving freaking McDonald's and eating really crappy food and adding to the disease in your body. Not saying that you're sick or anything, but cancer is really big in America. I wonder why. Because 95% of our conscious choices are unconscious. Excuse me, I'm just really big on that statistic because there is a reason that ads cost as much as they do. There is a reason that companies spend as much as they do on silly commercials, on shooting, on paying an actor, on paying a camera crew, on paying a director, on paying a gaffer, which is the lighting bullshit, on paying an editor. There is a reason that they spend so much money on ads and that they have been around for so long. It's because they work. It's because your unconscious is taking it in. Simple. YouTubers make money off of ads. Why? You don't think it works? It makes no sense. If you don't think it works, I don't know. I'm sorry. Go follow somebody else. That was mean. That was really mean. I'm sorry. If you don't believe me, it's okay. There's literal jobs out there for people who create senses of smell in hotel lobby, in stores to make you shop better. Stay there longer. If you stay there longer because you like the vibes are good. No, honey, it's just the freaking air conditioner spewing ocean spray with some coconut plum, and suddenly this bikini store has amazing bathing suits and you want to buy from there because it smells good and you feel good. And if you feel good, you'll stay longer. And if you stay longer, you'll buy more. So that's how your subconscious works. That's how much of an influence our subconscious has on us. We didn't even know we were smelling it. I didn't even know I was smelling that. That ocean breeze, I didn't even freaking notice. My conscious brain did not process it. But I stayed anyways, and I bought 5 bathing suits because of the smell. And I have no idea. I probably went to sleep at night 3 weeks later and still have no idea that I stayed in that store for 3 hours because it smelled nice. You had no idea. The subconscious mind is powerful. So if it's this powerful, why not use it to our advantage? You can use it to get to know yourself better. Let's say you want to stop eating chocolate and eat more fruit. You can use affirmations to give your mental activity strength to pick up an apple and leave the chocolate at the grocery store. From my own experience in writing my affirmations, I have literally accomplished a lot more. Making affirmations or making sure you do things constantly that lead to good habits, I literally literally have a bad habit of calling myself dumb, stupid, dumb bitch, anything in the book. I literally call myself that. I have stopped a lot since I wrote down an affirmation. I wrote, I love and speak to myself nicely. I love my body and eat nourishing foods. I heal myself with food. These affirmations I used for a month consistently, and although it didn't stop me from telling myself I was stupid, immediately after calling myself stupid, I would correct myself and being like, I'm not stupid, I just made a mistake. It happens, you make mistakes. So instead of bashing myself, I would immediately notice and correct the statement. Oh, I made a mistake. And I honestly did stop bad mouthing myself a little bit, but since I stopped the affirmation, I just forget. I call myself stupid all the time now, and I should pick it back up until like I'm able to release that negative thing I have for myself. Because if I tell myself I'm stupid all the time, it all goes back to like my unconscious, like, yo, I'm gonna do dumb stuff because I think I'm stupid. And it's not about that. It's about the fact that I'll be okay with doing stupid things, what I think is stupid, or bashing myself for constantly feeling that feeling and getting homey with that nasty feeling of telling myself I'm stupid and just being okay with it. And it's like, don't be okay with telling yourself you're stupid. Nobody should tell you you're stupid. If you don't like people calling you stupid, why are you calling yourself stupid? It's not okay just because you're telling yourself you're stupid, you know? So these are ways that you could reprogram your brain and use that to advantage instead of advertising imprint subliminal stuff that you don't even know, gunk that you're picking up. You know, some of these songs out there are really just not nice. And I know it sounds cliche or it sounds like, oh, like you're being dramatic. It's just music. And it's like, no, baby girl, it's powerful. Music is very powerful. Beats are very powerful. If someone comes up to us, they say or do something that we categorize as bad due to our ideologies, we are risking misunderstanding this person and missing the opportunity to teach them something or learn something and connect with them. It's either or. You could teach them something or you can learn. I believe we are here to challenge our beliefs and what else is true. We can exist outside of ourselves and expand our way of thinking. Do not stay in the same box that you were born in. Get to know your mold well. Get to know what makes you angry. Get to know what makes you sad. Observe your emotions and where they come from, and watch what actions you make for what reasons. The more that we observe ourselves, the more we can catch ourselves acting unconsciously. We can soon start to recognize when the unconscious secretly started to influence decisions. We can control the impulses to act without thinking and expressing ourselves unconsciously, and how it has an influence on our decision making, communication, and the reality that we set for ourselves. And that is my video. I really hope that you enjoyed my video. Let me know in the comments down below if you like it. And as I said before, I'm going to link some sources down in the description. Yeah, this was something new that I tried putting more thought and love into this video. I hope that you like it, and subscribe. Take only what you need, never more, never less. Don't be greedy, bitch.